Hey YouTube, Annoys Post 1975. I wouldn't go as far as to say that this is a rant, but it's a little bit more seriously themed. And basically it comes back to that little chestnut, which is people stop blaming video games for everything. You know, take some responsibility for your own actions, for the actions, you know, of your children, your friends, your family members. Don't be so quick to point the finger at something else and say, that's the reason that this happened. I absolutely hate that. I've done a video on it before about video games aren't the reason that people get, you know, killed or violence exists in society. And it annoys me that people are so quick to blame video games for everything. Now, excuse me, I was out earlier on today because it was the hottest day of the year and I wanted to be somewhere where there was aircon, and the only other place I have aircon access is my car, and I'd be broke if I sat in my car for the rest of summer. So I went to a shopping centre. It's the one where I go for Pink Planet. There's a couple of charity shops there. There was nothing, but it was alright because it was aircon. And I sat there and I was reading the newspaper, and like the little communal seats you get in, you know, shopping centres, and the person on the other side made a comment about an individual coming out of the video game store, and I just sat there and thought, wow. And it annoyed me. I didn't say anything to them because I know I'm not going to start an argument in public. But yeah, someone of slightly larger size, you know, with a game system in the bag. You could tell they bought a game system. And as they walked out the store, I heard the people behind me, right, and they weren't young or anything. I'm not saying they're super old, you know, they're probably, I don't know, 5 years older than me. And they made the comment, which was, wow, maybe if you stopped playing those things, you wouldn't be so big. And I thought, you don't know why that individual is like that. You don't know every aspect of that person's size. You know, to blatantly just make a connection like that really, really annoys me. Now, I'm not defending video games, you know. That's not what this video is about. It is to a degree, but by that, what I would like to sort of point out is this need for people to be able to make direct connections between one thing and something else and go, that's why that's wrong in society, that's why this is wrong in society, that's wrong in society, I can sleep better at night, now I've just made the world a sugar-coated place. Bollocks. Bollocks. Video games are an easy scapegoat, as are movies, you know, as in any form of media, for people who don't want to take responsibility for their own actions, for the actions of those they have responsibility to care about, you know. And that really, really annoys me. It's far too easy for people to blame someone else and accept the fact that they may have done something wrong. Now, let's get something straight here. There will always be a group of people in society, people who drink and can't do it in moderation, become alcoholics, people who dabble with drugs, can't do it in moderation, become drug addicts, you know, gambling. You've got to remember, all these things, with the exception of drugs, are legal. So it's a question of personality, or a question of addictive personality. That is not the fault of the product. Do you know what I mean? At some point someone made the decision to do what they are going to do. You can't blame that on the product, but at the same time, those of you, and I know there'll always be those who are lost cause, but too many people want to play the blame game, and I just think you should look around and just go, right, well, I could have said, sorry, curfew, you can't play video games anymore, or yeah, it's a little bit late, I don't want you watching this movie, or check in the back of the case and go, I don't think this is sort of suitable for someone your age. One thing that really, really annoys me is just the fact that video games, and that's why I'm making this video, cop it more in the neck than any other form of entertainment, is the reason that apparently society is collapsing. Video games don't make people overweight. People make people overweight. Not taking responsibility for your actions make people overweight. Poor education in schools. The fact that apparently we're reversing it now because of, you know, our success in the Olympics, but the fact that they decided that people should not have competitive sports because someone might lose and won't like it. These all have an effect, you know. Rather than blame video games for something, why don't you blame your poor education system? Why don't you blame the poor, you know, parenting skills of individuals, or the fact that you've not provided them the tools to improve these skills? Do you know what I mean? I don't know, I just find too many people find it easy to blame something else rather than accept that there are consequences to the actions of people who don't take responsibility for themselves and those they have a responsibility to look after, you know, family members, friends. Sorry, this rant may seem like it came out of nowhere, but this comment really, really annoyed me, and it basically kind of made me think, wow, that's society for you, isn't it? It's always something else's fault. Anyway. Anyway, I'd really like to know what you think. Do you think video games are responsible for anything, or do you think it's the individual? Thanks for watching. See you later.